Good morning everybody, and welcome to another episode on the bike and a commute to work. Now, I'm currently sitting at some traffic lights, so let's get this rolling. I thought I'd talk today about AI art. Unusual subject and nothing really to do with what I normally talk about, but it was quite interesting actually. I found an app on my phone called Photoleap, and it was probably one of the first apps that came up when I started looking into AI art, because I wanted to see what it was like and I was interested in it. AI is a funny thing. I feel like it's a bad thing overall for our lives, but we won't go into that now. But I think the art side of it is quite good fun, and there's quite a lot of criticism in AI art is not real art. It's just, you know, basically a computer system or a program that goes off looking for other images on the internet and putting them all together to make one image. So essentially a collage of pictures to make one picture. Now that's running in, please pass. That's a new one. Now what I decided to do was have a bit of fun with it, and I put this up on my stories because I did one post with a picture that I'd AI arted, but one of the things that attracted me to it was a couple of videos that I'd seen, or reels on Instagram, whereby they start with an image and they let AI constantly renew the scene. And I've been looking into how to do it, eventually figured it out. So it's quite straightforward. You just basically let the AI system re-scene each image. So essentially AI is modifying the image over and over again. So eventually you end up with something completely and utterly different that's nothing to do with the original picture. And you put all those pictures together in like 0.1 second intervals, and it creates like a merge, like quite a cool effect. And if I'll put that up now so you can have a look what that looks like. It's a picture of me in my helmet. Now just doing this one little tiny piece of footage took me well over an hour of faffing, so I'm not sure if I'll do any more. And also you have to do this amount of scene changes in the app, you need to actually have the paid version. So I've signed up for the 7-day free version to give me all the features, and then you have to put all those scenes into a video editing app to create one video. Now there's about, I think it's about 50 pictures in this one, but I think the overall effect's pretty cool. It looks like it's animated and changing into each individual scene. Now you imagine if an artist had to do this sort of work, it would take them days and days and days, and you know, I've done it in the space of about an hour and a half. And I had a little other play as well. I did some other pictures. These are some, I asked my mates to give me some ideas as to what to type in, because there's two ways you can do it. You can either modify an existing picture, or you can tell the app what you want it to draw or what you want it to come up with, and that's when it will go off, find different images on the internet and put them all together to try and make what you're asking for. Now obviously I went for a motorbike fiend, and so did my friends actually. So these images are all generated from a single line of text. You have to be careful what you put in, because the way that the system interprets what you've written, you know, if it's too long it will just take a few sections of what you've written, and if it's too short you don't get what you want. So yeah, there's quite a few here, and some of them have come out really well. I mean, I put the text that we typed in as well to bring those images about. I quite like the motorcycles in space ones. So I suppose that's quite a simple thing to do. And Spartan getting ready for war on his Harley was one of my friends' ones. And also two-wheel dinosaur drag race. we're very mature. We still think about dinosaurs because they're cool. And yeah, so some pretty. I mean, when you imagine this sort of thing, you put the request in. It takes seconds. It literally takes seconds for it to go off, draw an image or put an image together and display it to you, and you can sort of like keep refreshing it until you see something you're happy with. There's loads on here. There's literally tons you could do. Your options are endless, really. And people say it's not art because art comes from the mind, and they're probably right. It isn't really art. It's just a computer generated image that happens to come from an automatically generated image. You know, it's not like it's thought about it, really. It's not like it has life experience to generate that art. Some of it's pretty weird. You put stuff in and the stuff that it comes out with is really odd. You know, like legs missing, heads missing, people being part of the motorbikes. But yeah, generally it's quite good fun, and I think there's a lot of fun to be had with it. And now I've been looking at AI art on my Instagram and stuff like that. It's now suggesting it as part of my search, and some of them are really good. You know, like you can see someone's actually really thought about and worked out the algorithms and worked out what's needed to generate a really amazing, stunning picture that actually makes sense. And then there's others that are just completely random, but it's fun. It is fun. Let me know what you think about AI art. Is it the future of art? Do you think that has a place in today's society as genuine art, or is it going to go by the wayside and be forgotten about? What's your thoughts on AI? I mean, I said this morning, I said a bit earlier that, you know, AI is quite scary, and I think it is genuinely quite a scary thing. And I think if people embrace it too much, we're just going to end up like dumb, you know, we're just going to be even more dumb than we are now. I mean, Google will become useless. I mean, there's no need to search for something if you can just ask a question to an intelligent system that will give you an answer and a way of fixing things, like on ChatGPT. If you haven't checked out ChatGPT already, do so. Go and have a look. Ask it some questions. It does generally give you some quite interesting results. There's lots of conspiracy theories about AI. There's lots of conspiracy theories about AI and it basically becoming self-aware and things like that, and AI talking to older versions and realising that it's a new version and them having to reset it and things like that. So I mean, if any of those are true, and let's face it, quite a lot of conspiracy theories recently have been actual fact. I mean, has nobody who makes AI heard of Skynet? You know, they never watched the Terminator. You know, think about it. I mean, if you give AI access to our history and everything else and all that kind of thing, we look pretty bad. We look like a pretty bad race. I mean, us consumers generally aren't the bad people. But yeah, I think there needs to be a lot more thinking from us as the consumers before we wholeheartedly take on AI as on our day-to-day lives. And I'm not talking about the AI like Alexa and stuff like that at the moment. I'm talking about the next generation of AI. I'm talking about the really, really clever, scary stuff. I mean, you know, at the moment we're talking about just drawing pictures. I mean, that's nothing, but the way that it uses that information and draws those pictures, and how it interprets us as humans, when you think about it, it kind of, it's interesting, very interesting. On that note, I'm going to end it there. So if you haven't done so already, please give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Tom's TC.